Let's do this up. I should not come. Right, I've got a wind chill. Oh dear. Right, this is the lee side of the wind. Maybe you can hear it. Now, the end facing into the wind. So this is quite a strong wind. And I can tell you now, that's alright compared to other tents, definitely. I think what it is, because you've got all these toggle points here, you've got loads of them all over the place, connecting the inner to the outer, and you've got so much room in here. I just think what's happening is these toggles here, where they're all attached, so many of them are attached to the tent, they're just absorbing the energy. So the outside's going some, but the inside is, it's just lost all its energy by the time it gets to the inner tent. It's a lot more stable. Obviously you've got the noise. Now this is quite a rough wind actually, compared to what I've had. When it's only normally 50 or 60, it hardly moves inside the tent. The worst you get is the sound of the wind smacking against the side of the tent. Sometimes you get a gust of wind. I've had it where a gust of wind is just smacked against the side of the tent. Don't know where it's come from. You got a normal sort of like 40 mile, 50 mile an hour wind, and all of a sudden something happens. It's like a car crash, like that sound of when cars hit each other, the sound of metal just smacking each other. You get that sort of bang, and it kind of like frightens you, wakes you up. But otherwise, it's fine. Now you could quite easily bunker inside this tent here for days if you wanted to. As long as you got food and water, you'd be fine. If you were stuck in a serious storm, I think you'd be absolutely safe. Depends whether you have double poles and that. So I think, yeah, you're safe for 100 miles an hour. Obviously, you don't expose it, to that sort of weather if you can help it. But yeah, rest assured, you should be fine. When they said it can take the most extreme stuff, it's doing it. So everything's a risk anyway. Obviously, yeah, this could break right now. If it could happen. But I'm really impressed with it. It's really good. It's just so heavy. You can't use it as one person. Yeah. So if you split this tent down between two people, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. If you're on serious stuff up in the mountains, if you want to go up high, and you want to have something that you can come back to, yeah, that's what it's made for. You could sit in this for a few days in a storm, and I think you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. It's comfortable. You've got loads of room inside the tent for two people, more than what you'd normally get with a two-person tent. Plenty of room. You can have you're not next to each other. You're not touching each other. You can have your mats separate. You've got 4 pockets. You've got plenty of room to do things. You can have all your gear in one vestibule, cooking in one end, and whatnot. And you've got the vestibules are a little bit tight. That's all. The space in there. If you had 2 rucksacks in there, you'd have to keep everything packed away, just to keep everything in order. And you want to have all your bulky stuff on the lee side, obviously, because, well, the vestibule gets pressed in. Let's have a look at it. The vestibule does get pressed in because it has got no guy line. Like see how it's pushing in, so it's going to press against all your gear. So I don't like the idea of that, because I don't know, maybe the material can rub against something, catch something. You could maybe more risk of tear or something. I don't know, but still, this one's holding up quite well. Not too bad there, the front. That's because I've got the double poles and it's just holding up right. When it starts to flex downwards, then obviously the material gives more and it pushes down more. And I don't know if it stretches more when it's wet or something. I don't know, but maybe that happens there as well. But it's doing really well. Listen, I'm comfortable now. I've hardly got any wind inside the tent. No wind at all inside the tent. I mean, the ground's quite flush here, so it is all the way around. So I'm quite lucky with the terrain here. It's like just a normal grass field, like something you find at the park. So it's quite good there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm quite impressed. The only thing with this tent is it's really good in the wind, really good in the snow, but it's not very good in the wet. It's not really made for the wet. That's the only thing with it. In a rainstorm, it comes up short. I would start thinking of other tents. So if you're a 2-person expedition and you start to double pole this tent, you might as well start looking at the next model up, the 3-man version, which I think is a Savo, because now you're in the same, it's the same weight, but it's got a vestibule, and it's 3-man, so it's bigger, but it's the same weight if you don't double pole it, if you just keep it standard. Maybe get 1 pole for the vestibule, but I've never actually tried the Savo, so I can't really say really. I have to speak to somebody who's got one. But I would start thinking about maybe upgrading to that there. Then you've got at least a bigger vestibule, and it's got a bigger vent. The problem with this tent is the vent is very small, right? And I'm talking about the outside cover for the vent. It only comes down to about here, and I think the Savo is a lot bigger, stretches right over the front of the and attaches to the front poles as well. So it's got more chance of stopping the rain from coming in up into the vent here. This vent is very small, very short. So what happens is, if I open it, see there's the vent there. The rain just comes in. It just blows. The wind will just blow it up here. When you got to go, if this was raining now, the rain will start to be coming. It will saturate this. It saturates the zip, and it starts to come through. I think you get the same problem with the Solo, I think. And on here as well, I don't know if you can see, but it's shaking a bit now the tent. But I've got small little gaps underneath the zip here, and the water pushes in through there as well, but the wind just blows it, forces it through. If there's no wind and it's raining, then it's no problem. It's absolutely no problem. It's only when it's a rainstorm. So if there was rain with this wind here now, we might have a bit of an issue. Depends which direction the wind's coming from. So you have to be lucky and get the vent on the opposite side to the rain. But you have the wind coming in this way, it's going to force, it doesn't really matter which side you got the vent on, it's going to force it in anyway, yeah? Alright, so that's the problem here with the tent. But it's getting quite serious out there again now, it's building up again. I've got to take this down in this wind as well. But unfortunately I'm on my own with my camera phone, so I can't film it properly. But this is what it's like inside the tent when you're in a proper gale force storm. It's nothing. When you're inside the tunnel tents, because you've got the big flaps, you've got loads of material that's not attached to anything, you know, that's just flapping around all over the place, making loads of noise. This is a lot quieter, a lot more stable. Even when the wind comes on the side, it kind of just rolls over it. It's really good. Obviously you get the sound of the rain on the material, or the snow. You've got a blizzard. I had a blizzard the other day. I could hear it just smacking against the tent. Yeah, but it was fine. But the snow don't come in. It's just the rain, really. So that's the only downside with this tent here. Oh, it's building up again. I can hear it. It's not going to let up. Yeah, but more than doable, more than comfortable inside the tent here. Look, this is the other side of the tent, yeah? Obviously you would cook here if you were stuck in the tent. Be no problems there. Look, as if nothing's happening. But the other side of the tent, that's where it's all shaking and jumping around. So long as you've got your pegs in good on the front vestibule, you should be fine. It's getting strong. Let's go out back outside and have a look again. Might as well. This will be a long review now. I'm trying to think what else I can say really about it. Not much to say, is there really? Oh man. See there, but rain's building up. Now I'm struggling to stand. Alright, yeah. So long as you've got good pegs here. I've got some extra long pegs here actually. But yeah, really, it's fine. This ground's strong. So, well, you've got those two pegs in there, they're holding the tent firm.